In this video, I'll show you how to build your own artist website from scratch. By the end of it, you will understand the essential features and will be able to build a website on your own. Because I am not just showing you how to make a website, I am teaching you how to use the platform so you can build any website. So let's start right away. Go to squarespace.com and click on Login on the top right corner. Then choose Create Account. I suggest to use your Google account so all is well connected in one place. If all goes well, this is what you will see after creating the account or logging in. If not, then navigate to your dashboard. This is your dashboard. From here you can create as many free trial websites as you like. Click on Create Website. Since we are building an artist site, choose Art and then click Next. We want to use the website to show our art, so from the list, select Showcase Work. If you are planning to sell your art, I will cover that in another video as a part 2 of this tutorial. So for now, I will also click Sell Products so that I have that option later, but if you don't want to sell, then don't select it here. Now we can click Next. Here you can choose to either start with a designer template or to build a template by your own. So far I have found tutorials which start with the designer template, and to be honest, I find these templates overwhelming. They are full of things you won't need at all and it will just make you even more confused. So instead, let's choose the option of building your own template because I prefer starting with a clean draft so we can add only what we actually need. Next, you will be asked to give your site title. For now, I will just say my site and I will show you how to change this later. You need to pick a brand personality. This will affect the default colors, fonts, and the tone of the AI-generated text suggestions. Some text samples you can see on the left-hand side, but don't worry, whatever you choose here, you can always change everything later. I will go with the sophisticated branding for now, and now it's time to build a homepage draft. So ask yourself, what do you want people to see first when they are visiting your website? I personally want a simple homepage just with a picture of my artwork and a clear direction to my art. I don't want to include an About section or any other sections on my homepage for now. Plus, I anyway want to show you how you can add these sections later on your own. So I will just click on Intro and select the most minimal layout they offer. Click Next, and now we can add additional pages to your website. Let's start with just a few basic pages. I would like to have an About page and a contact page right in the beginning, but don't worry, if you don't know yet what to include, we will go through how to add these later manually. For colors and fonts, I will stick with the default sophisticated options, but feel free to explore what fits your work. You can always change it later. Now we have a basic uncluttered draft that is perfect to start building upon. To see the content of your website, click on Pages on the left sidebar. The pages are categorized either as main navigation or not linked. Anything under main navigation shows up on the site's menu in the header. Pages in the not linked category aren't linked directly to the header in the navigation, but they are still live and indirectly accessible. For example, as you see, your home is in the not linked section, so it doesn't have a specific link in the menu. But it is still reachable just by clicking on your site's title, which by default links back to the home page. And just to show you how flexible this is, if I drag the home into the main navigation, it immediately appears in the menu. You can edit any page by selecting it and clicking on the Edit button on the top left corner. Let's begin with the home page. As a first step, I will edit the site title by double-clicking on it. For this demo, I decided not to use my own art and name, so I will be building a website for Claude Monet because his work is visually cohesive and it has a good variety of categories like portraits, landscapes, which is ideal for the demo. Your site title can be your name, for example. Additionally, you can upload your logo or signature. For this, just click on Add Logo and upload the file. Just make sure that the image has no background. Here is how it looks with the signature. Adjust the size until it feels balanced. Now I want to feature an artwork as the background image. I want the visitors to see a piece of art as soon as they are on the website. So let's click on this current image and just delete it. You can leave this just like a simple background for a more minimalistic look, but to add an image, go to Edit section, Background, and upload one of your works. I will use a water lily painting for this. And if you want the attention on a specific part of the image, you can set the focal point by moving the small white circle. I will keep mine centered. By default, there is an overlay on the top of the image to help the text visibility, but I will reduce it a bit down to about 10% so the artwork is more visible. I also want this section to be a bit larger, so I click and drag the handle at the bottom to stretch the section. To edit the text, just double click on it. You can say something like "Welcome to my website" or "Explore my latest works." I will go with "Check out the latest artworks." Now, the text is a bit hard to read, so let's fix that. Open the color palette on the top and pick something with more contrast. Let's add a button that will link to your artwork. Click Add Block, select Button, and click on the pencil icon to change the text and type something like "View Works" and drag it wherever you want. To style the button, again click on the pencil icon and play a bit with the design to see what you like. So later, when we are ready with the page that is showcasing the art, we will simply link this button to that page. People also visit your site from phone or tablet, so keep in mind to check the mobile view. You can find it on the top right corner. So as you see, the layout is not exactly how it should be. I will adjust it a little bit. I need to center the button and also align the text a little bit and the button as well vertically. Also be careful because the desktop and the mobile versions aren't fully independent. In the mobile view, you should only correct small misalignments and avoid making big layout or design changes, as they can affect your desktop version too. Always double check afterward to make sure nothing shifts on the web version. I think it would be nice to add a small social media preview to the homepage. I will click on Add the section below the one that we already made. I want a blank section. Then I add a block. And then under integrations, I select Instagram. Of course, feel free to try and add anything else you want. I click on the pencil icon to edit, and under connected account, say add an account. At this point, please log into the Instagram account which you want to link to your website. Then say OK to the message that is displayed here. Now a new window opens where you need to give authorization for Squarespace to access your Instagram account. So enable it and then click on Allow. Just a side note, you can only do this if you have a creator account on Instagram. Now your Insta feed is displayed on your website and we just need to make the design a bit better. So I prefer to show the last 8 posts, and let's make this a bit larger. In the design, I like to keep the grid view with standard aspect ratio and showing 4 items per row while keeping some space between the pictures. I don't like how the images are aligned to the top left corner of the block, so next to the pencil icon we can align them to the middle of the space. Let's add also some texts. I click on Add Block, choose text, and I write something like "Follow me on Instagram." Then choose the text style that you prefer. Then align everything in the middle of the section. This yellow line is very helpful for that. But again, you see how the text is not centered within the block? So let's center it vertically the same way that we just did with the images. And to center it horizontally, select the text and then center it here. There is one thing I forgot to do. Right now, if someone clicks on any of these posts, they will actually leave my website. I don't want that. So let's make sure that these posts open in a separate window. Go to Design and enable the Open Links in the new window. Now let's try it out. Save the work, exit the edit mode, click on one of the posts, and yes, now they nicely open in a new window. You can very easily add other social media links. Just go to the section where you want to include them. Within that section, click Add Block and then select Social Links. The block will appear somewhere within the section, but it's empty now. Just click the pencil icon and then select Add Social Link. Here you need to copy and paste the URLs from your social media profiles, being it Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, or something else. Then drag the block wherever you want it to be within the section, and of course change the design if you like. I will delete it from here because personally I prefer to include them in the header or the footer of the website. So for that, I simply hover over the header, click Edit Site Header, and then Add Elements. And here you can enable the social links. We could copy and paste the URLs here under Content the same way we did before, but as we have done this already, it remembers all links we included. Change the design to make sure it looks how you want it. In the end, I would rather include the links in the footer, so I just delete them from here. As the last step of the homepage, I want to design the footer, so let's scroll down to the bottom of the page, and here you will see Add Site Footer. Simply add the section under this text. There are many nice default footer designs, but I couldn't find exactly what I wanted, so I will just add a blank section now. Here I want to add a newsletter where people can subscribe, so I add the block and select Newsletter. I click Edit and then change the title to Newsletter instead of Subscribe. And I want to remove some of the default texts. If you want, you can require the name of the subscriber, but for me the email address is enough, so I leave it like this. You can add a post-submit message. This will be displayed after somebody subscribes. Now go to Storage and then Squarespace. Here you can enable different verification methods to make sure you don't get spam emails. You can request verification through a confirmation email or using reCAPTCHA. I feel like adding a photo of the artist here, so I say Add Block, select Image, and I will upload a self-portrait of Monet from a file. I nicely align everything, and I think that this would be the best place for the social links, so I ended up putting them here. Just a side note, the footer and the header will appear on every page by default unless you change it. And around the end of the video, I will show you how you can select for each page specifically whether you want to show them or not. Now our homepage is done, and let's save it and exit the editor view. Click on the arrow on the top right to see the preview of your site. I think it looks very nice and simple. I think we learned a lot about how the platform works while making this one page. Check the mobile version too. I see no need to modify anything. Well, maybe I will slightly decrease the size of the intro text. It looks slightly too large for the mobile version. But other than that, I think everything is in the right place and we can go ahead with setting up the page for the artworks. I'll show you 3 different ways to showcase your art. The first one will be a simple gallery grid showing all artworks on one page with single images. The second one is a setup with a drop-down menu. It's the best if you want to separate your works into categories like portraits, landscapes, or still life. And for the third one, we will create an additional page for each artwork where extra photos, details, and descriptions can be included. You can mix and match these versions later or just pick one and keep it simple. So let's start with the first option, a simple gallery. Next to the main navigation, click the plus sign and select the blank page. Name it something like Works or Gallery. Click Edit and then Add Section. This time we choose Images, and let's scroll down to the bottom of the page and select this specific gallery layout with the simple grid. Now go to Edit Gallery and select all the demo images and delete them. Then click the plus icon and upload your own artwork images. You can rearrange the order by dragging them within the gallery. You can select more than one images at the same time. For example, I want these water lily paintings to be redder on the top of the page, so I select them all and drag and drop them. It's possible to add captions. Click on the image, and under description you can include whatever you like, for example the title, size and year of the artwork. You have to add the caption for each artwork one by one. You can also edit images in Squarespace, but I actually recommend uploading final versions. The built-in editor is limited and the changes are not reversible, so it's the best if you do any cropping or adjustments beforehand. Close the gallery and now go to Edit section, and here you can experiment with different gallery types to find what suits your work the best. I prefer using the simple grid layout with an inset style. I think it gives the artwork space to breathe. The full bleed and the full options fill up the space with the images all the way to the edges of the screen, and this can feel overwhelming depending on the type of work. But try them out and choose what feels right for your art. You can choose the aspect ratio of the thumbnails, and some ratios might suit your work more than others, so it's really worth trying out a few of them. You can choose how many columns you have. I leave it on 3 and I slightly change the spacing between the images. If you want the description to be visible, you need to switch on the captions so that they appear under each artwork. A useful feature here is the lightbox. One can click on an image to open it in a larger pop-up view with navigation arrows to browse through the rest of the gallery like that. When you are happy with the layout, save your changes, exit editing mode, and preview the page, again by clicking on the top right arrow. I only gave description for a few images, and it would definitely look better if you either add descriptions for all of them or if you don't show the captions at all. Let's check the mobile view as well. Everything looks alright and no need to modify anything. By the way, you need to use the left and right keys on your keyboard to browse through the images when testing the lightbox feature on the mobile view. Let's switch off the captions and see how it looks without. I think it's great for a clean look, but I think it also looks quite nice with the captions if you properly and uniformly make the descriptions for all artwork. We shouldn't forget about the button on the home page. We still need to link it to this new page with the art. So go to the home and click on the works button that we added in the beginning. Then click the link icon and choose the work page we just set up. If you want it to open in a new tab, then switch on that option. And now people can directly check out your work through this button. And we can of course try it out, just exit editing mode and click on the button. So yeah, it works very nicely. Okay, before we continue to the second type of gallery, let me just move this page under the not linked so I don't get confused. Now, let's say you want to separate your works by category like portraits, landscapes, or you want to categorize them by year or medium or something like that. For this, add a new item to your main navigation and then choose drop down and name it something like works or portfolio or as you want. Below this drop-down, we will add separate pages, one for each category. So I click on Add Page, but underneath the drop-down menu. Select a blank page and name it after the category. I will start with landscapes, and within this page, we just basically repeat the process from before. Add a section and choose images, then scroll down and select the same simple layout as previously. Then, edit the gallery and delete the default images to upload your own artworks, but this time only upload the images for the specific category. So I only upload the landscape paintings. Change the design as you prefer in the same way as I showed you in the previous part of the video when we set up our first gallery version. In case you haven't seen that part of the video, check out because it can be quite helpful. Once you like the layout and the design, save your changes and of course check the mobile view as well. And if everything looks good, we add the next category. but we don't need to start over the whole process. Instead, to save time and keep everything consistent, we will duplicate this page. So all design and layout will remain the same. Instead of adding a new page, I just click on the settings symbol next to the landscape page that I just made, and you can find the duplicate option if you scroll to the bottom. This duplicated page comes by default under the not linked. I will first rename it with the new category. I will add the water lily paintings now, so I will name it like that. And when you move it up, make sure that you place it below the drop down and not separately. Now we just need to change the images by editing the gallery, and I will upload the pictures for the specific category, and of course don't forget to change the description for all artworks. You can make as many categories as you like simply by following these steps. I also want to add an all works page within the drop-down because I would still want people to see all of the artworks in one page. There is one thing that is very important here, and whenever you duplicate pages, please keep this in mind. I think the best is if I show you what could cause a problem. So let's go to the settings of the water lily page. You can see that the site title and the navigation titles are correct, but the URL slug doesn't seem right. This is because we duplicated the landscape page and the URL actually remained the same, except that now it's not landscape but landscape number 1. So from this you can see it's a duplicate. So every time you make a new page from a duplicate, please make sure that you change the URL name. In principle, actually it wouldn't cause any issue for you. Your site and links would work just fine, but it's always better to have an individual URL name for all of your pages. By the way, this is the URL name that people will actually see in their browser, so it's also better not to confuse others. Now let's link the button on the home page. In Squarespace, you cannot link a button to a drop-down menu like the portfolio folder because folders don't hold actual content, they just organize the pages like landscapes or water lilies. Instead, link the button to a specific page. For example, I will link mine to the page that shows all the artworks. You can also link to any category and rename the button to match, and then visitors can browse the rest through the drop-down menu. If you want, you can even add multiple buttons, each linking to a different category, and that works great too. Let's save and exit to test. Clicking the button takes us to the full gallery, and the drop-down menu works as expected for browsing by category. Just a quick look on the mobile version. As you see, the menu comes up to the screen and we can select the different categories from there. Now let's look at the third option, where we additionally give each artwork its own page with extra images, context, or behind the scenes photos. For this, add the blank page under not linked. Make sure you name it properly, for example, the name of the artwork. I will say Water Lily number 1. On this page, click on Edit and add the section. We go to images and choose again the same gallery layout as before. Now let's go to Edit Gallery in order to upload the detailed pictures, maybe some close-ups of the painting or how it looks on the wall, or whatever you like to present here. Arrange the order if needed. And you can add a description for the photos, but I prefer to leave it without that and rather add a separate text on the top of the page to describe the artwork. And this I will show you just in a few seconds. But for now, in Edit section, I personally like to change the gallery type to a simple slideshow with the small thumbnails being visible. But it's up to you how you present your artwork, of course. Now let's add the text for the artwork. For this, I add a new blank section on the top of this page. And here you can try the help of the AI in case you are interested in a longer or shorter or just a different version of your description. I will say something generic and ask AI to make it a bit longer. If the space between the text and the gallery seems a bit too large, just go to Edit section and in Design, change the section height to small. Once you are happy with the layout, save the page and exit the editing mode to have a preview of your page. And as explained before, see the mobile version if there are any minor misalignments and correct those. Alright, in the next step, I would like to link this detailed page to the artwork in the main gallery. So when somebody clicks on the picture of the artwork, I want this detailed page to show up. And no matter which gallery style you choose, a simple grid or a categorized option, this will work for both. So I go to the gallery page that contains this specific painting and I click on edit. Then go to edit section and first turn off the light box. This is because we don't want the images to open in a pop-up window anymore. We want to open a new page with the details of the artwork. Then go to edit gallery and select the artwork that is corresponding to the detailed page that we just created. Then click attach link, and under the hidden navigation I see the page that I just made, namely the water lily number 1, so I will select that one. I suggest enabling the Open a New tab option, so when somebody clicks on it, they won't need to navigate back to your main gallery every time they want to see another piece. Now save and exit to test. And now when you hover over the image, your cursor should change to a hand icon, showing that it's a clickable image. Click on the artwork and it should take you straight to the detailed page. Don't worry if it's not opening in a new tab now. For me, it seems that this feature doesn't work while you are working on your site, but in my experience, this will be okay once your site is online. To make a new detailed page for another artwork, I will duplicate my water lily number 1 page in order to keep the same design. Of course, I will rename the page, and in this way, I only need to exchange the photos and the text, which saves a lot of time. Just don't forget and make sure that you need to change the URL slug accordingly, as we discussed previously. I quickly want to set up the About page where people learn about you and about your art. During the first steps in the initial setup, we asked Squarespace to include an About page by default. But if you didn't select that option, no worries, you can very easily add it now by clicking on the plus sign next to the main navigation, then selecting Page Layouts and click on About, and here you can find something very similar. I will keep the original page and start with Edit. And in the text block, you can write a bio or artist statement or whatever you want people to know. Feel free to style the text. If you want to have the image on the side, you can upload a photo of yourself in the studio next to your work or just something that feels authentic. I will align and adjust the text and the image until it feels balanced. Well, instead of this default Contact Us section, I want to add the CV. Of course, if you would like to add your artist statement or any other content, just click Add Section and either choose from the available layouts or add the blank section to style it exactly how you want it. So I will add a blank section here with a text block for artist CV. And first I will just copy and paste the CV below in another text block. Then align and adjust them. And of course, I check how it looks in desktop and mobile view. At the end of the video, you will see a short explanation on how you can include the CV as a downloadable file. So if you are interested, check out the extra tips at the end of the video. Let's move to the contact page. I already have a draft contact page because I asked in the beginning at the setup of the website. But if you don't, just click the plus sign next to the main navigation, select contact and choose one of the templates you like. I will edit this contact page and I change it to contact me instead of contact us for a friendlier vibe. I also feel like adding one of the artworks here. As I already uploaded them, I can select it from the library. I don't need to upload it again. And this time I feel like changing the focal point on the photo. Then actually I want to add my own text to encourage people to contact me about any question they have. You can edit the form below as well by clicking the pencil icon and go to the Edit Form fields, and here you can delete or add fields depending on what information you request from people reaching out to you. For me, for example, the name is not required, so I click on it and I disable the requirement. If someone wants to share their name, they can still do, but it's allowed to send me a message without that. So it's up to you which fields you want to require from the sender. Everything is editable, just click on the text or form elements to update. You can leave a post-submit message like "Thank you, I come back to you as soon as possible," or you can even redirect people to another page on your website. Feel free to play with the design. I will leave this one as it is for now. Just some last touches so everything looks nice both in desktop and mobile. Now that you have a beautiful website, let's see how you can make it live so people can see it. For this, you will need to subscribe to one of the plans. Click just here below, select a plan and go through with the payment. You can also adjust the currency, and if you want to sell your art, you will need a business plan minimum. If you don't want, then the personal is also perfectly fine and it's cheaper. Once this is done, go to Settings, Website, Site Availability, and change it to public, and with that, your website goes live. You don't need to buy a domain to publish your site. Once you subscribe to a plan, they will give you a free built-in URL. This URL is usually quite random, but you can customize it. Under Settings, go to Domains and Email, where you can see your built-in domain name. Click on it, and under Site ID, try to change it to something more meaningful. Try, for example, your name or your site title. It's important that your site ID will be followed by squarespace.com. So, for example, in my case, this website could be reached under claudemonet.squarespace.com. So, in case you want your own domain name, go back to Domains and click on Get a Domain. Then search for the name you would like, and if it's available, you can just directly purchase it here. But if you have a domain through another provider, you can also transfer it to Squarespace. I did this myself, and if you're interested in how, just let me know in the comments. I want to show you a few extra tips super quickly. To add the downloadable file, for example your CV or a freebie, first create the file and save it as a PDF or any other format on your computer. Then you can link it either through a text or a button. For the text, highlight the text, click the link icon, choose File, and upload your file. You can enable the Open in New tab if you want it to open separately. For a button, add a block and select Button, edit the text, and then upload the file from your computer. To create a link to another page on your site, select the page from your site's navigation list. You can easily include videos on your site. Just click Add Block, choose Video, then either upload a file or paste a YouTube link. You can customize the overall style of your website by clicking the paintbrush icon in the top right corner. Here you can choose from existing color palettes and font combinations, or create your own for full flexibility. You can also mix and match, like use a preset as a base and then modify it to an extent to better fit your style. For each page, you can decide separately whether to show the header and the footer. Go to the settings of the page and find it under navigation. You can select whether to display the header, the footer, or both. When your site is already live and you want to edit a page, usually you don't want it to be publicly visible until it's finished. In this case, you can, for a short time, disable the page in Page Settings, then re-enable it when it's ready to go live. Next time, I will walk you through how to set up a store easily to sell your art. You will find the link in the description once it's live.